Making the armature for the Colmillos sculpture. Right here I put 2 armature wires together to create the body. And right here you'll see that this is how it looks in the end. After that, you will add some foil. Foil is a great filler for clay. That way you don't use majority of your clay. Next you want to use little armature wire. It's a skinnier one. This allows the foil and the clay to stick on better. Right here I'll be making the head. And this is what it looks like fully covered in foil. This is my favorite clay to use. Cos clay is a much more durable and flexible clay after you bake it. I've been using it for a while and it just came out maybe like 3 years ago probably. So here I'll just be adding the head. This little piece of clay I used, it's for the mouth right here, as you can see. I'm trying to form his face to look more like a dog. I am not the best at animal anatomy and anything, not even people anatomy. I make creatures, you know. This is a translucent cos clay. I mostly use this one for teeth and bones because I don't like sculpting bones and teeth with regular clay, because then I have to paint it over with white acrylic, which is really ugly, and I don't like to do that, and I don't want my sculptures to look ugly. So 10 out of 10, I definitely recommend using translucent cos clay. As you can see, I finally finished the top jaw with the teeth. Now I'm adding the small little canine teeth to the bottom. Teeth are very tedious, but I love it. Here's the tongue. You always want to add a tongue, obvi, in the mouth. So here, finally putting the feet together. I hate putting feet together, so... Oh, these little beads right here, I actually use them for eyes. But here, I accidentally added them a little too early, and you'll see why later. But, yeah, I'm just giving the, little angry eyes to the dog. Right here, you'll see that I am cutting this part off because that's exactly what he looks like in the game when his spine comes out. Here, you just want to take it off really fast. It gives it that skin ripping apart look. And then you'll have the foil exposed, so you want to cover it with some more clay. This right here is the armature wire for the spine I'm going to be using, so I'm going to cover it in foil too. Here, giving it the texture. I personally don't remember what it looks like, so I kind of just freestyled it with the spikes. I did look at the concept art, but it didn't give me too much. Right here, I'm just kind of sculpting whatever texture to give it more of an organic look. I attached the spine using more clay, adding the vertebrae of the spine, and then just kind of blending it in together. These are just little spikes I'm adding to the spine to give it more of a monstrous look. And OMG, you definitely want to add ligaments for sure, because that gives the spine like it's ripping out of the back. And of course the tentacles, you gotta love the tentacles. That's my favorite part. This is the rib cage I am sculpting with translucent clay. And this is what he looks like finished. So for the fur, this is what I grabbed. I grabbed some faux fur from Hobby Lobby. You want to cut off a little strip just like this. Make sure you spread it out evenly. You want to use your hot glue and your silicone mat to press over it. Once it cools off, you pull it apart. You cut off the excess glue, leaving you with a small strip of glue. This is a couple I made. And then you want to add a dark base paint to your piece so that way it looks a little more natural when you add the fur. Here you'll be using your heat gun to glue that little strip of hot glue onto your sculpture. And it's a bit of a process, but this is what it looked like. And then this is him fully done. Cute. When you're making anything gory and organic, you want to kind of use pastel powders to color it. Here you'll see why, because it gives it more of a natural, realistic look. I'm using reds, peaches, purples, pinks, and see how it looks a little more, good instead of acrylic paint. Acrylic paint kind of gives it more of a gunky brushed on look, and that's not kind of what you want. So right here is where I said I kind of messed up with the eyes. They were covered with the fur, so I had to add new beads to it and then paint it over again, giving it that bulgy look. That's me, how cute. And then I added some more like FX blood to the piece, and then the white for the bone. I know I used translucent clay, but this one I totally forgot. UV resins is literally your best friend for anything organic in grotesque, because you want to mix it all and make it look all bloody and juicy. And this is what I covered the spine with. You'll see in the end how more realistic it looks rather than it looking matte. This is the baseboard that he will be set on. I wanted to give it a small diorama look from like the old game, so I kind of painted this with the green and brown, cover it with Elmer's clear glue, so that way I sprinkle some of this turf on it and you spread it around. And then I grabbed a couple of dry leaves from my plants, broke them apart, and then I kind of just sprinkled them around the corners to give it like a pathway look like you see in the game originally. And yes, in fact, that is a Red Hot handgun ammo that is in the game. After adding that, I set the sculpture on top, and then this is where I put the Red Hot handgun ammo right underneath. This is before, after.